much, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this production. It's great to have live performances back in school, and I'm sure in schools. I was asked to say a few words about the Crucible and introduce it and its themes. I'm going to say very little about the actual play because you're about to see it. The play was written, as many of you know, by Arthur Miller in 1953, and it's actually based on what was happening in 1953 in the United States in terms of McCarthyism and the reaction of the Americans during what they saw as the rise of communism within the United States. He himself, as a product of this play, was questioned by Congress in late 1954. The play is set in 1692 in Salem, in a place that I know really well as a child. It's an area of the United States that was colonized by people that escaped from Europe, the so-called Puritan escape. People who were reacting against the Book of Common Prayer and what they saw as the move towards Catholicism. The play has many themes, many themes, but I was asked to pick out a few. The few I've picked out is one, religion. In a theocratic society, it's really easy to become intolerant, to start looking inwards rather than outwards. The Puritanical time in 1693 emphasised things like goodness. Being good was important. You were judged by being good. Reputation mattered. What others thought of you, it mattered. You were judged by both God and by man. The sad thing is, as the play illustrates, that can go wrong, and can go very wrong. As a consequence of the second theme that I've picked out, hysteria, panic, gossip, making false conclusions, spreading what you don't understand very quickly, developing hatred, confusion. I've often wondered how, in 1693, this would have spread as quickly with a WhatsApp group. The third, I think, is actually which ties everything together, and used by many playwrights and many novelists over time, irony. Irony, I think, has two levels, and it's illustrated by the point I'll make now, that rain at a wedding seems to be ironic. A wedding's a great event, if it rains it's not great, and that seems ironic, but that's not really the case. Divorce and wedding, particularly while waiting to go into a wedding, a married couple have an argument before entering the church, and as a consequence of that argument they then get divorced, is ironic. Here, we see it at a much more dangerous level. Characters that believe they're fighting and defeating the devil's work are actually taking on the devil's work. Throughout the play and throughout that time, they killed possibly their most virtuous people, the people that could have led them out of the problem or the hysteria they were suffering, leaving the people that couldn't deal with it to deal with it. I would like to commend this cast for taking on such a challenging play. This is not easy. It's a young cast, and they've done exceptionally well. It is a challenging play. It's interesting, it's poignant, and it's one that sings to us today in the world that we're currently living. And there's plenty that we can all, and others, like our leaders, learn from it. I'm saying very little more than that. I do hope you enjoy the play. I'm not allowed to wish the actors any form of good something, but I hope that they break several legs in front of you this evening. Thank you very much.
witchcrafters all around. I think you'd best go down and deny it yourself. The parlour's packed with people, so I'll sit with her.
And what shall I say to them? That I discovered my daughter and my niece dancing like heathen in the forest?
Uncle, we did dance. Let you tell them I confessed it. But speaking of witchcraft, Betty isn't witch.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know you haven't been open with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle. When he leapt on us so suddenly, Betty was frightened, and she fainted. And that's the whole of it.
Child, sit you down. Now, look you. If you trafficked with the spirits in the forest, I must know of it. For surely my enemies will, and they will ruin me with it. I have many enemies, Abigail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
There is a faction sworn to drive me from my pulpit. Do you understand that?
I think so, sir.
Now that in the midst of such disruption, my own household is discovered to be the very center of some obscene practice, abominations were done in the forest.
Sport, Uncle!
I saw TITUBA waving her arms for the fire when I came on you. Why was she doing that? And I had screeching and gibberish coming from her mouth.
She always sings her Barbados songs, and we dance.
I cannot blink what I saw, Abigail, for my enemies will not blink it. And I thought I saw someone naked running through the trees.
Nobody was naked, Uncle. You mistake yourself.
I saw it. Now tell me true, Abigail, for my ministry is at stake. My ministry and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abominations you've done, give me all of it now.
There's nothing more. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, is there any other reason for Billy Proctor's discharging you than you have told me? It has bothered me that you are now 7 months out of the job, and in all this time, no other family has called for your services.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them.
Come in.
It's the marvel. It is surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Billy PUTNAM, it is not.
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Why, I'm sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over the barn and come down light as a bird, he says.
Now look you, Billy PUTNAM, she never... Oh, good morning, Mr.
It is a providence. The thing is out now. It is a providence.
What's out, sir?
Why not?
Her eyes is closed. Look you, Anne.
Why, that's strange. Ours is open.
Your little niece is sick?
I don't call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know.
Oh, pray not. How does your child ail?
She ails as she must. She never waked this morning, but her eyes open and she walks, and hears not, sees not, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken, surely.
They say you've sent for Reverend HALE of Beverly?
A precaution only. He has much experience.
He
in
has
the demonic
indeed,
art.
and found a witch in Beverly last year, and let you remember
I
that.
pray you lead not to witchcraft. We cannot lead to witchcraft in this. They will harm me out of Satan.
Now look you, Mr. PARRIS. I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue but cannot if you hold back on this. The hurtful, vengeful spirit laying hands on these children.
But Thomas,
And tell Mr. PARRIS what you have done.
Reverend PARRIS, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in the earth. Believe me, sir, you have never saw more hearty babies born, and yet each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. And now, this year, my Ruth, my only, I see her turning strange. A secret child she has become this year, and shrivels as if a sucking mouth were pulling on her life too. And so, I thought to send her to your TITUBA.
To TITUBA? What will TITUBA do?
TITUBA knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. PARRIS.
But Anne, it is a formidable sin to conjure up the dead.
I take it on my soul, but who else may surely tell me who murdered my baby?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. PARRIS, and mark this proof, mark it. Last night, my Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits. I know it, sir, but how else did she struck dumb, except some power of darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. PARRIS.
understand it, sir? There's a murdering witch among us bound to keep us soft in the dark. Let your enemies think of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
Then, you were conjuring spirits last night?
No, not I, sir. TITUBA and Ruth.
Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house? In my house, Thomas? They will topple me with this. Don't make of it up.
Pardon. I knew Popsy how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma comes. She's improved a little. I think she gave a powerful sneeze before.
Ah, there's Sandfly.
Will you leave me now, Thomas? I would like to pray alone now.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why don't you go down?
No. No, I shall wait till Mr. HALE arrives.
Now look you, sir. Strike out against the devil and the village will surely bless you for it. Come down. Speak to them. Pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you'll pray with them.
I will lead them in a song. I have had much contention since I came. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to roost, you hear?
I will.
If she scouts for the window, cry for me at once.
I will, Uncle. How is Ruth sick? It's weirdish. I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night.
Oh, now listen, if they be questioning us, tell them we danced. I told him as much already.
Aye. And what more?
He saw you naked.
Jesus! I just come from the farm. The whole country's talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby. Oh, Abby, we've got to tell the truth. You'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things. Betty, sit up now. Sit up, stop this. I told your papa everything. There's nothing.
Abby, you don't blood! You don't blood, Abby!
Betty, you never say that ever again!
You did! You did! You never tried to kill that Proctor's wife! You never tried to kill Goody Proctor!
I say shut it now! Now look you, both of you. We danced. TITUBA conjured up Ruth Putnam's dead sisters. That is all. Mark this. Let either of you breathe the words with the edge of the words without any of the other things. Then I will come to you in the black of some terrible night. I will bring a meaty reckoning with which to shudder you in. And you know I can do it. I can make you wish you could never see the sun go down. Now you sit up and stop this! Betty!
Be you foolish, Mary Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? Now get you home. My aunt is waiting with your work.
I best get going. I have my Ruth to wash. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
What's this mischief here?
She's only gone silly somehow, but she'll come of it.
So she flies, eh? Where are her wings?
John, surely you're not believing she flies.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The tongue's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, hush. Dancing in the woods yesterday, and my uncle leapt in on us. She took a fright, is all.
Dancing? He'll be clapped in the stocks before your time.
John, give me a word. A soft one.
I come to see what Mr. your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of mind, Abby.
John, I'm waiting for you every day.
Abby, I'll not be coming for you more. You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion any time I came near. I saw your face when she put me out, and you loved me then, and you do now.
Child!
How do you call me a child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, or I'll cut off my hand if I'll ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mind, Abby. We never touched.
Aye, but we did. Oh, how I marvel at how such a strong man may bend to such a sickly wife.
You speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She's telling lies about me. She's blackening my name in the village. She's a cold and sniveling woman, John Proctor, and you bent to her. John, pity me! Pity me!
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Betty! Betty, what happened? What are you doing to her? She had you singing and suddenly she
That is a notorious sign of
My
witchcraft.
Ruth is bewildered. She cannot eat.
Are wide opinions running in the parish that the devil may be among us, and I would satisfy them that they are wrong.
Then let you come out and call them wrong. Are you our minister or Mr. Hill? Did you consult the wardens of the church before you called him to look for devils?
He's not coming to look for devils.
Then what is he coming to look for?
There are children dying in the village, mister.
I see none dying.
I have but one child left of 8, and she shrivels. When Reverend Hell comes, he'll proceed to look for signs of witchcraft.
There's either obedience or the church will burn like hell is burning.
Can you speak 1 minute without me landing in hell? I'm sick of hell.
There's a party in this church. I'm not blind. There's a faction and a party.
Against you?
Against him and all authority.
Why am I spine it and join it?
Pray, someone take these.
Oh, Mr. Hale, it is good to see you again. My, they are heavy.
They must be. They are weighted with authority.
Well, you do come prepared.
We shall need hard study when it comes to tracking down the old boy.
Do you know this gentleman? Mr. Thomas Putnam and his good wife Anne.
Mr. Putnam, I had not expected such distinguished company, sir.
It does not seem to help us today. We look for you to come to our house and save our child.
Your child ails too.
Her soul seems blown away. She sleeps, and yet she walks.
She cannot eat.
Will you take a look at my daughter, sir? We discovered her this morning on the high road, waving her arms as though she could fly.
Tries to fly.
She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name said. That is a sure sign of witchcraft.
No. Now, let me instruct you. We cannot look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are definite as stone, and we cannot look for its proper signs and judge beforehand. And I shall tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me if I say I see no principle in this.
It is agreed, sir. We will abide by your judgment.
Good then. Now, sir, what were your first warnings of these proceedings?
Why, I discovered her and my daughter Abigail and 10 or 12 other girls dancing in the forest.
You permit dancing?
No, it was secret.
Mr. Parris's slave has knowledge of conjuring,
Good
sir.
Anne, we cannot be sure.
I
of
know
that.
it, sir. I sent my child. She should learn from TITUBA who murdered her sisters. Mr. Hale, is it a natural work to lose 7 children before they live a day?
7 dead in childbirth.
I
Have no fear now. We shall find this devil if he has shown his face. And I mean to crush him utterly if he has come among us.
We
Now.
shall open up the void of all our troubles to you.
Let's go on, Mr. Hale.
Aye. Now mark me. If the devil is truly in her, you will witness some frightful wonders in this room. Mr. Putnam, stand close in case she tries to fly. Betty dear, will you sit up? Can you hear me? I am John Hale, Minister of Beverly. I come to help you. Does someone afflict you, child? Need not be a woman or a man. Perhaps a bird, invisible to others, comes to you. Perhaps a pig or any beast at all. Is there some figure bids you fly? Domini, Sabor. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all.
I think I ought to say that I saw cattle in the grass where they were dancing.
That were only suits.
Soup? What sort of soup were in that kettle, Abigail?
Why? I think they were lentils and beans and...
You didn't notice, did you not, Mr. Parris? Any living thing in the kettle? A mouse, perhaps, a spider, a frog?
No, that frog jumped in. We never put it in.
Abigail, it may be your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
Not I, sir. TITUBA called him.
She called the devil?
I should like to speak to TITUBA.
Good Anne, will you bring her up?
How did she call him?
I know not. She spoke Barbados.
Did you feel any strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind? perhaps a trembling below the ground.
I didn't see no devil! Betty! Please, Betty!
You cannot evade me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle?
She never.
Did you drink it?
No, sir.
Did TITUBA ask you to drink it?
She tried, but I refused, sir.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I'm a proper girl. And she made me do it. She made Betty do it.
Abby!
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood.
Blood?
My baby's blood.
No, chicken blood. I gave she chicken blood.
Woman, have you enlisted these children for the devil?
I do not talk with the devil, sir.
Why can she not wait? Are you silencing this
I
child?
love me, Betty.
You have sent your spirit upon her, have you not?
She
Are you
sent-
casting shows for the devil?
She sends her spirits out on me in church. She makes me love and pray.
She has often loved the prayer.
And she comes to me every night to go and drink blood.
You make me to order, Abby. She makes me to make charm.
I'll tell you something. She comes to me in my sleep. She's always making me drink corruption.
Abby!
And I hear her laughing in my sleep and singing her Barbados songs and dancing.
When did you contact with the devil?
I do not compact with the devil, sir. You will confess yourself or I will take you out and whip you to your death, TITUBA.
This woman must be hanged. She must be taken and hanged.
No! Don't hang TITUBA. I tell him I don't desire to work for him, sir.
Who? The devil. Now, TITUBA, I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is hard to break with it entirely. Now, we are going to help you tear yourself free. You will be a good Christian woman, will you not?
I, sir, a good Christian woman.
And you love these children.
I don't desire to hurt little children, sir.
And you love God.
With all my being.
Now in God's holy name.
Bless him! Bless him!
And to his glory.
Eternal glory, bless him! Bless God!
Open yourself, TITUBA. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine on. And the devil come to you. Does he come with another person? Another person in the village, perhaps? Someone you know? Who come to you with the devil, TITUBA? 2, 3, 4? How many?
There was 4. There was 4.
Who? Their names? Their names?
Oh, how many times he begged me to kill you, Mr. Parris?
Kill me?
You say, Mr. Parris must be killed. Mr. Parris, no goodly man. Mr. Parris, mean man, no gentleman. And he bid me rise out of my bed and come to your throat, and I say, no! I don't hate that man. I don't desire to kill that man. But he say, you work for me, TITUBA, and I make you free. I give you pretty dress to wear. I put you way up in the air and you go fly back to Barbados. And I say, you lie, devil, you lie. Then he come to me one stormy night and say, look, I have white people belong to me. And I look, and that was goody good, son of Christ, sir, and Goody Osborne.
I knew it! Goody Osborne would midwife to me 3 times. I begged you, Thomas, did I not? I begged him not to call Osborne because I feared her. My baby's always shovel in her hands.
Take courage. You must give us all their names. How can you bear to see these children suffer? Look at them. Look at their God-given innocence. Their souls are so tender. We must protect them. The devil is out preying on them like a beast upon the flesh of the pure lamb. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I saw the devil. I danced for the devil. I wrote in his book. But no. I go to God. And I look. And I saw Goody Simba with the devil.
I saw Samantha with the devil. I saw Simba with the devil.
I saw Goody Bishop with the devil. I saw Goody Taylor with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil.
What keeps you so late? So dark.
Why? I was planting far out on the forest edge.
Oh, you're done then?
Aye, father seated. The boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Pray now for fair summer.
Aye. You come so later. I thought you'd gone to Salem this afternoon.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week.
I thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her go? You heard me forbid her go to Salem anymore.
I forbid her go. And she raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince and says to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I'm an official of the court.
Court? What court?
Aye, it's a proper court they have now. He sent 4 judges out of Boston, she says. Weighty magistrates of the general court. And at the head sits the deputy governor, province.
Why? She's mad.
I would to God she were. There'll be 14 people in the jail now, she says, and they'll be tried. And the court have power to hang them too, she says.
They never have.
The court promised hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild. Mary Warren speak of Abigail as though she were a saint to hear her. She brings the other girls into the court, and where she walks, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel, and folks are brought before them. And Abigail scream and howl and fall to the floor. Persons clapped in jail for bewitching her.
It's black mischief.
I will go to Salem, John. I think so. You must tell them it's a fraud.
Aye, it is. It surely is.
That you go to Ezekiel Cheever. He knows you well. And tell them what she said to you last week in her uncle's house. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
Aye, she did, she did.
God forbid you keep that from the court, John. I think they must be told.
They must. They must. It is a wonder that they do believe her.
I will go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good. Then let you think on it.
I am only wondering how I may prove what she's told me. Elizabeth, if the woman's a saint now, I think it to be hard to convict her if she's a fraud. And the town's gone so silly. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her?
For a moment. I?
Why? Then it is not as you told me.
For a moment only. The others came in soon after.
Do as you wish, then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion.
I
I'll have it!
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet?
John, if it were not Abigail that must go to hurt, would you falter now? I think not.
You will not judge me more, Elizabeth.
I do not judge you. The magistrate that sits in your heart that judges you. I thought you nothing but a goodly man, John.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. How dare you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again.
I am sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray, pray, hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery. I'm in the proceedings all day, sir.
And when will you proceed to keep this house as you are paid £9 a year to do?
I made a doll for you today. I sit long hours in a chair. I spent the time in Soda's pocket.
Why? Thank you. It's a fair poppet.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Aye, indeed we must.
I'll wake early and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary Warren, is it true there be 14 women arrested?
No, sir. There'll be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody husband will hang.
Hang? Hang, you say?
Aye.
The deputy governor will permit it?
He sentenced her. He must. We're not so good. So confessed, you see.
Confessed? To what?
That she sometimes made compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and bound herself to torment Christians till God's thrown down and we must all worship hell forevermore.
Surely you know what a jabberer she is. Did you tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court she near to choked us all to death.
Choked you? How?
She sent her spirit out.
Mary.
She tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor.
I never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she comes to the court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman, for she sleeps in ditches, and she's so very old and very, very poor. But then she sit there, denying and denying, and I feel a mist of coldness climbing up my back, and the skin on my skull begin to creep, and and I feel a clamp around my neck, and I cannot breathe air. And then I hear a voice, a screaming voice, and it was my voice. And then all at once I remember everything she'd done to me.
Why? What's she done to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor, she comes to this very door, begging bread and a cup of cider. And mark this, whenever I turn her away, she mumbles.
Mumbled? She may mumble if she's hungry.
But what does she mumble? You must remember, Katy Proctor, last month, a Monday, I think, she came to the door and I turned her away, and I thought my guts would burst the days after. Do you remember it?
I do, I think.
So I told that to Judge Harthen, and he asks her, "So, Sarah Good," says he, "what curse do you mumble that's gone was fall sick after turning you away?" And she replies, "Why, Your Excellency, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments."
That's an upright answer.
Aye. But then, Judge Harthen asks for her, "Recite your commandments." And out of all of the 10, she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments, and they had her in a black lie.
And so condemned her?
Why, they must, when she condemned herself.
But the proof, the proof!
I told you the proof. It's hard proof. Hard as rocks, the judges say.
You will not go to court again, Mary Warren.
I must tell you, sir, I'll be gone for every day for some time now. I'm amazed you do not see what weighty work we do.
What weighty work you do. It is strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
They will not hang if they confess. Goody good will only have to sit in jail for some time. Oh, and here's a one for you. Think on this. Goody good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman is near to 60.
Well, they had Dr. Riggs examine her, and she's full to the brim. So, like I say, I'll be gone for every day for some time. I'm an official of the court now.
I'll official you!
Oh, I won't stand your whipping anymore! Devil's loose in Salem. We must find where it's hiding.
I'll whip the devil out of
I
you!
saved her life today.
I'm accused.
You were somewhat mentioned.
Who accused me?
I'm bound by law. I cannot tell it.
Go to bed!
I will not be ordered to bed anymore. I'm a woman, 18, however single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up!
I wish to go to bed.
Good night then!
The noose is up.
There'll be no news.
She wants me dead, John. I knew a week it would come to this.
You lay this mistake, you heard her.
And what of tomorrow? She will cry me out until they take me.
Look here, sit you down.
She wants me dead, John, you know it.
Sit you down. I'll find a Zickle Chief. I'll tell him she said it was all sport.
John, go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
There is a promise made in any bed.
What promise?
Spoke or silent, the promise is surely made. She thinks to kill me, then to take my place. There'll be 1,000 names. She call mine. She thinks to kill me, John.
She cannot think it.
Then go! Go and tell her she's a whore.
Good,
Whatever
then
promise she may make, break it.
Hi, Mr. Hale. Good evening, sir.
I hope I do not startle you.
No, it's only that I heard your horse.
You are a good wife, Proctor.
Aye, Elizabeth.
I hope you're not off to bed yet.
No, let you come in. Will you sit down, sir?
I will. Let you sit with my Proctor.
Will you drink cider?
No. I will not keep you for long. Though I do have some business with you.
Business of the court?
No. I come of my own, without the court authority. Hear me. I know not if you are aware, but your wife's name has been mentioned in the court.
We know it, sir. Our Mary Warren told us. We are entirely amazed.
I am a stranger here, as you know, and I find it hard to draw a clear opinion as to them who come accused to the court. And so, I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca's
Rebecca's charge?
Surely you cannot think so.
This is a strange time, mister. There is too much evidence to deny the power of darkness. You will agree, sir?
I have no knowledge in that line.
I thought, sir, to put some question as to the Christian character in this household, if you'll permit it.
Why, we have no fear of questions, sir.
Good then. In the book of records that Mr. PARRIS keeps, I note that you are rarely at church on Sabbath day.
No, sir, you're mistaken. I surely did come when I could. When I could not, I prayed from this house.
Mr. Proctor, your house is not a church. A Christian on Sabbath day must be at church. Do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
Sure you do.
And you, mister?
I am sure I do.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress must be accounted small.
There be no love for Satan in this house.
I prayed daily. Now, I shall bid you good night.
Mr. HALE, I do think you're suspecting me somewhat, are you not?
I do not judge you, good Proctor. My duty is to add what I may as to the godly wisdom of the court. I pray you good health and good fortune. Good night.
Will you tell him?
What's that?
I think you must tell him, John.
I have no witness, and I cannot prove it unless my word be taken. But I know the children's sickness had naught to do with witchcraft.
Not to do.
They were discovered by Mr. PARRIS sporting in the woods. They took fright and got sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail!
Aye, sir, she told me the day you came.
Why did you keep this?
I never knew until tonight the world's gone so daft with this nonsense.
Nonsense! I have myself examined TITUBA, Sarah Good, and numerous others that have confessed to dealing with the devil. They have confessed it!
Why not? They must hang for denying it.
And you? Will you testify this to the court?
I had not reckoned with going to court, but if I must, I will.
You falter.
I falter nothing. I only wonder if my story be credited in such a court. I do wonder on it.
Good evening. Good evening to you, Mr. Proctor.
Why, Mr. Cheever, good evening, sir. I hope you are not coming on business of the court.
I do. I am a clerk of the court now, you know. I have a warrant for your wife.
What say you? A warrant for my wife? Who charged her?
Why, Abigail Williams charged her.
Oh, what proof? What proof?
Mr. Proctor, I have little time. The court bids me to search the house, but I like not to search a house. So will you give me any poppets you may keep here?
Poppets?
I never kept no pockets, not since I was a girl.
I spy a poppet, Goody Proctor.
Why? This is Mary's.
Will you please give it to me?
Because the court discovered a text in pockets now.
Do you keep any others here?
No, not this one till tonight.
Now, woman, will you
You will
come with
go
me?
nowhere. Elizabeth, fetch Mary.
What signifies a puppet, Mr. Cheever?
Well, they may say that it signifies why.
What's that?
Why it is a needle.
What signifies a needle?
The girl, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams, sir. She sat to dinner at Reverend PARRIS' house, and without word nor warning, she falls to the floor like a struck beast and screams a scream that a bull would weep to hear. And when he goes to save her, stuck 2 inches in the flesh of her belly, he draws out a needle and demanding of how she got so stabbed, she testify it that it was your wife's familiar spirit that pushed it in.
Surely you are taking this for proof, Mr. Hill.
'Tis hard proof. I find here a puppet that Goody Proctor keeps. I have found it and stuck 2 inches in the flesh of the belly. I draw out a needle. I tell you, Jew Proctor, I never warranted to see such proof of hell.
Here now. Mary, whose puppet is this?
What puppet's that, sir?
This puppet.
Why, I think it is mine, sir.
It is yours, is it not?
It is, sir.
And how did it come into this house?
Why, I made it in court today, and I give it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Now, sir, do you have it?
Mary Ward, a needle was found stuck inside the puppet.
Why, I meant no harm by it, sir.
You did that yourself?
Why, yes, I did.
What say you now?
Child, you are certain this be your natural memory. Is it possible that someone conjures you to even say this now?
Conjures me? I know, I'm entirely myself. Then you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sung in court. Oh, and ask Abby. Abby saw me make.
Mary, you charged a cold and cruel murder on Abigail. Abigail was stabbed tonight. A needle was found stuck inside her belly.
And she charges me?
Aye.
Why? The girl is a murderer. She must be ripped out of this world.
You heard that, sir. Ripped out of the world. You heard that.
Give me that!
You ripped the deputy governor's words, man!
Damn the deputy governor out of my house!
Proctor!
Yeah, be I gone with them, your broken
Proctor, if she's innocent!
Oh, if she is innocent! Why, do you never wonder if Paris be innocent, or Abigail? Is it always the accuser that is so holy now? Are they born in the morning as clean as God's fingers? I tell you what is walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were, but now little children dangle the keys to the kingdom, and common vengeance writes the law. I will not lose my wife to common vengeance.
I'll go.
You will not go!
I think I must go with them, John. If the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft, it will frighten them.
I will bring you home, Elizabeth. I will bring you home soon.
I'll fear nothing.
Mr. Proctor.
Get out of my sight!
Charity, Proctor, charity. What I have heard in a favor, I will not fear to testify this to the courts.
You are a coward! Though you be ordained, you are a coward now. Out of my house!
Mr. Proctor, very likely they'll let her come home when they've given proper evidence.
You're coming to court with me, Mary Warren. You will tell it in court.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell the court who made that puppet, who stuck the needle in, and how it came here.
She'll kill me for saying that. Abby will charge lechery on you, sir.
She's told you?
I've known it. And she'll ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good! Then her saintliness is done with. We'll slide together into our pit, but you will tell the court what you know.
I cannot. They'll turn on me.
My wife will never die for me. I'll bring your guts into your mouth, but that goodness will not die for me.
I can't. I cannot. I cannot.
Mary Warren, what are you about here?
She would like to speak with the deputy governor. She's been striving with us all week, Your Honor. She comes out to tell the truth to you.
Who is this?
John Proctor, sir. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife.
Beware this man, Your Excellency. This man is mischief.
I think you must hear the girl, sir. Peace! What would you tell us, Mary Warren?
She never saw no spirit, sir.
Never saw no spirit?
She assigned a deposition.
No, I accept no deposition.
They come to overthrow the court.
And you, Mary Warren, how came you to cry out people for sending their spirits against you?
They were pretense, sir.
Ah, and the other girls? Susanna Walcott and the others, they are also pretending?
Aye, sir.
Indeed. Now, Mr. Proctor, it is my duty to tell you this. We burn a hot fire here. It melts down all concealment. Are you certain, mister, that your evidence is the truth?
It is, and you will surely know it.
And I take it you came here to declare this revelation in the open court before the public?
I thought I would. I, with your permission, of course.
Now, sir, what is your purpose in so doing?
Why, I would free my wife, sir.
There lurks nowhere in your heart, nor hidden in your spirit, any desire to undermine this court?
Why, no, sir.
I tell you straight, mister, I have seen marvels in this court. I have seen people choked before my eyes by spirits. I have seen them stuck by pins and slashed by daggers. I have, until this moment, not the slightest reason to suspect that the children may be deceiving me. Do you understand my meaning?
It is the children only. In this one, will swear she lied to you.
They've come to overthrow the court, Your Honor.
I judge you not, sir. Sit you down. I'm ready to hear your evidence. Now, what deposition do you have for us, Mr. Proctor?
This is Mary Warren's deposition. I would ask you to remember, sir, whilst you read it, that until 2 weeks ago, she was no different than the other children are today. You saw her scream. She howled. She swore familiar spirits choked her. She even testified that Satan, in the form of the women now in jail, tried to win her soul away. And when
We know all this?
Aye, sir. She now swears she never saw no spirits, vague or clear, that Satan may have sent to hurt her. And she declares her friends are lying now.
I should like to...
Mr. PARRIS, I bid you be silent! Sit you down, Mr. Proctor. You, sit there. Mr. Cheever, go into the court and leave the children here. Mary Warren, how came you to this turnabout? Has Mr. Proctor threatened you for this deposition?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Then you tell me that you sat in my court, callously lying, when you knew that people would hang by your evidence? Answer me.
I did, sir.
How were you instructed in your life? Do you not know that God damns all liars? Or is it now that you lie?
No, sir. I'm with God now.
You are with God now.
Aye, sir.
I will tell you this. You are either lying now, or you are lying in court. And in either case, you have committed perjury, and will go to jail for it. You cannot lightly say that you lied, Mary. Do you know that?
I cannot lie no more. I'm with God now. I'm with God.
Sit you down, children. Your friend, Mary Warren, has given us a deposition in which she swears that she never saw familiar spirits, apparitions, nor any manifest of the devil. She claims as well that none of you have seen these things either. Now then, it may well be that Mary Warren has been conquered by Satan, who sent her here to distract our sacred purpose. And if so, her neck will break for it. But if she speaks true, I bid you now, confess. Abigail Williams, rise. Is there any truth in this?
No, sir.
Children, will either of you change your positions now, or do you force me to hard questioning?
I have naught to change, sir. She lies.
You would still go on with this?
Aye, sir.
A puppet were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed by a needle. Mary Warren claims that you sat beside her in the court when she made it, and that you saw her make it and witnessed how she herself stuck her needle into it for safekeeping. What say you to that?
It is a lie, sir.
While you worked for Mr. Proctor, did you see any puppets in that house?
Goody Proctor always kept puppets.
Your Honor, my wife never kept no puppets. Mary Warren confesses it was her puppet.
Your Honor,
Mr. Cheever,
when I spoke with Lady Proctor in that house, she said she never kept no puppets. But she did say she kept puppets when she were a girl.
She's not been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor.
but a puppet will keep 15 years, will it not?
It will keep if it is kept. But Mary Warren swears she never saw no puppets in my house, nor anywhere else. Mr. Danforth, what profit does Mary Warren have to turn herself about? What may she gain but hard questioning of words?
You are charging Abigail Williams with murder. Do you understand that?
I do, sir. I believe she means to murder.
This child would murder your wife.
Mary, now tell the governor how you danced in the woods.
What is this dancing?
Miss Proctor.
Abigail led the girls into the woods, and they have danced there, naked.
Your Honor, this
Mr.
man...
PARRIS discovered them there in the dead of night. There's the child she is.
Mr. PARRIS!
I can only say, sir, that I never saw any of them naked.
But you discovered them dancing in the woods,
Your
Abigail.
Excellency, when I first arrived from Beverly, Mr. PARRIS told me that.
Do you deny it, Mr. PARRIS?
I do not, sir, but I never saw any of them naked.
But you have danced?
Sir.
You say you never saw no spirits, Mary.
No, sir.
And yet, when people accused of witchery confronted you in the court, you would faint, saying that their spirits came out of their bodies and choked you.
That were pretense, sir.
Then can you pretend to faint now?
Now?
Why not? Now there are no afflicting spirits attacking you, for none in this room are accused of witchcraft. So let you turn yourself cold now. Let you pretend you are being attacked. Let you faint. Faint!
Faint?
Aye! Prove to us how you pretended so many times
You're not pretending?
I have no sense of it now.
Might it be that here we have no afflicting spirit loose, but in the court there were
I never
some?
saw no spirit.
This is a trick to blind look.
It's not a trick. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits.
Thought you saw them.
But I did not.
How could you think you saw them unless you saw them?
I cannot tell you how, but I did. Well, the other girls, they would scream, and you, Your Honor, you seemed to believe them. We were only sport in the beginning, but then the whole world cried spirits, spirits, and I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw them, but I did not.
This is a trick to blind the court.
Abigail Williams, I bid you now, search your heart and tell me this. Is it possible, child, that the spirits you have seen are affliction only? Some deception that may cross your mind when...
Mr. Danforth, I have been hurt. I've seen my blood running out. I've been near to murdered every single day, just because I've done my duty pointing out the devil's people. And this is my reward, to be denied, mistrusted, questioned.
I do not mistrust
Think you be so mighty that the power of hell may not turn your wits, Mr. Danforth? Think you be so mighty? There's...
What is it, child?
I know not. Some cold wind has come. Abby?
Your Honor, I freeze! They're pretending.
She's cold, Your Honor. Touch her.
Mary, do you send your spirit out on me?
Oh, Lord, save me! I freeze! I freeze! Oh, Abby, please don't do this.
Heavenly Father, take away this shadow.
Whore! How dare you call
Man,
it's a whore! Mark her now. She'll suck a scream to stand me with, but
you will prove this. This will not pass.
I have known her.
You are a lecher?
She will deny it. Sir, but believe me, a man will not cast away his good name.
In what time? In what place?
In the proper place, where my beasts are bedded. 8 months now. Sir, it has been 8 months. She used to serve me in my house. A man may think God sleeps, but God sees everything. I know it now. I beg you, Mr. Danforth, see her for what she is. My wife, my dear good wife, took her out soon after and put her on the high road, and being what she is, a lump of vanity. Excellency, forgive me. She thinks to dance with me on my wife's grave. And well she might. For I thought of her softly, God help me, I lusted. And there is a promise in such sweat, but it is a whore's vengeance. And I know that you must see it. I set myself entirely in your hands, Mr. Danforth. My wife is innocent. Except she knew a whore when she saw one.
You deny every scrap and tittle of this?
If I must answer that, sir, I will leave and not come back!
Does not deny it, Mr. Danforth. You will remain where you are. Sit you down. Ugh. Mr. Parris, go into the court and move the white proctor out. And Mr. Parris, tell her not one word of what's been spoken here, and let you knock before you enter. Now we shall touch the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say, is an honest woman.
In her life, she never lied. They're them that cannot sing. They're them that cannot weep. My wife cannot lie.
Good then. Hold. Turn your back. Turn your back. You, do likewise. Now, let neither of you turn to face Goody Proctor. No one in this room is to speak one word or raise a gesture, aye or nay. Enter. Mr. Cheever, report this testimony in all exactness. Are you ready?
Ready, sir.
Come here, woman. You will look at me only, not at your husband. In my eyes only.
Good sir.
We are given to understand that at one time you dismissed your servant, Abigail Williams.
That is true, sir.
What cause did you dismiss her? You will look at me only, not at your husband. Why did you dismiss Abigail Williams?
She dissatisfied me and my husband.
In what way dissatisfied you?
She...
Woman, look at me! Was she slovenly? Lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
Your Honor, in that time I was sick, you see, and my husband is a good and righteous man. But in my sickness, it were a long time after my last baby, and I thought I saw my husband somewhat turning from me. And this girl,
look at me!
I saw Abigail Williams. I came to think he fancied her. So one night I lost my wits, I think, and put her out on the highway.
Your husband, did he indeed turn from you?
My husband is a goodly man.
Look at me! To your own knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer my question! Is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Remove her!
Elizabeth, tell the truth! Elizabeth!
She has spoken! Remove her!
Elizabeth, I confessed it!
John!
She only thought to say my name.
Your Excellency, it is a natural lie to tell. I beg you, stop now, before another is
She
condemned.
spoke nothing of lechery, and this man lies.
I believe this man. I cannot turn my face from it no more. This girl has always struck me. You will not be good, I say!
What is it, child? Girls? Why do you...
It's on the beam! Behind the raptor! Why did you come, yellow birds?
Where's the bird? I see no bird!
But my face? My face? But God made my face. You cannot want to tear it away. Envy is a deadly sin, Mary. Abby! Mary! I will not! I cannot stop my mouth. It is God's work I do. Oh, Abby, I'm here. Mary, this is a black art to change your form. Stop, please don't hurt me, Mary. I'm not hurting her.
Why does she see this vision?
She sees nothing.
She sees nothing!
Abby, you mustn't.
Abby, you mustn't!
I'm here.
I'm here! Mary warned you, back your spirit out of them!
Mr. Danforth!
Mr. Danforth! Have you compacted with the devil, have you?
Never!
Why can they only repeat you?
Give me a whip, I'll stop it!
They're sporting!
Oh,
Abby, stop it!
a little while ago you were afflicted. Now it seems you afflict others. Where did you find this power?
I have no power.
They're gulling you, mister!
Mary?
Why did you turn about this past 2 weeks? You have seen the devil, have you not?
Mary, God damns all liars.
I cannot hear you. What do you say?
Mary.
You will confess yourself or you will hang.
Mary, remember the angel right
Her
now?
wings! She's walking the beam! Mary, please, don't come down! She's gonna come down! Look out!
What?
Mary,
Don't touch me!
Mary!
You are the devil's man!
Oh, praise God!
Mary, how?
No, I'll not hang with you. I love God.
He bid you do the devil's work?
Gets me to sign.
Sign what?
The devil's book? You come with a book? My name. He wants my name. I'll hang you, he says, if my wife hangs.
Mr. Hale!
Overthrow the court, he says.
Oh.
Excellency, this child's gone wild. I'll go the way no more. I love God. I bless God. Oh, Abby, I'll never hurt you no more.
What are you? You are combined with Antichrist, are you not? I have seen your power, mister. You will not deny it.
This is not witchcraft. These girls are frauds. You condemn an honest man.
I will have nothing from you, Mr. Hale. Will you confess yourself befouled with hell? Or do you keep that black allegiance yet? What say you?
I say, God, over. I see his filthy face, and it is my face, and yours, Mr. Danforth. For them that quail to bring men out of ignorance, as I have quailed and as you now quail, when you know in all your black hearts that this be fraud. God damns our kind especially, and we will burn together.
Master, take him to the jail.
I denounce these proceedings. I quit this court.
You're pulling heaven down and raising up a whore.
You will hang for this.
No. What?
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduced the play very briefly. I don't think the words I gave that any credit whatsoever. I think that was magnificent. I think for those of you who've studied, I'm going to be quite blunt, we're all old enough to have studied that play many times in our school time. It isn't an easy play. It does have a lot of themes, and it's spectacularly hard to create the impression that I think our young, very young, shell and lower fifth actors have done this evening. Boys, girls, cast, crew, thank you very much and well done. There is no doubt that that can't be produced without a lot of effort from them and a lot of effort from a large number of other people. I know the cast have a few words to say, so rather than me steal their words, I would like to pass over to them with their words.
The cast just want to say a thank you to Miss O'Ketch, Amara and Katy, just to thank her for everything.
Without you, none of this would be possible, and we really, really appreciate how much work and effort and time you put into all of this. Woo!
I'll also take this opportunity to just tell you a little about this amazing cast. Weren't they phenomenal? I believe that this is a cast that's going to do great things in Peponi. They're predominantly Shell students, with a few lower fifth And one very brave senior student, Miranda, where are you? When I chose this play, I actually chose it for the senior students, but that was not to be because they were busy with university applications and exams, and so I was going to shelve it and just give them an age-appropriate play. But they said, no, miss, we want to do this. We have this. And so I gave them the opportunity, and this is the result that you have seen. When you see Nessa Conscious, the judge, perform like she's an A-level student. Isn't that amazing? And when you see Amara at age 13 plus say words like, I know how you clutched my back behind me and sweated like a child. And I thought, no, I'm going to change this. This is not right, but eventually we stayed with the true spirit of Arthur Miller. Well done. If I was to talk about all of them, we'd be here the whole night. So what I want to do next is just appreciate the people who've made this possible. My head of department, Miss Sayata, where are you?
For everything you've done to create this. Thank you very much.